Hello and welcome to the MBLEx review course. Today we are talking ethics. We're talking about boundaries. We're talking about laws and regulations. This is about 15 questions on your exam. My name is Jodi Skulls. I am your instructor for the MBLEx review course, and we are bringing to you this topic because it is not body work. It is actually on the ethical practice of massage. And there's very clear boundaries on the ethical practice of massage. But this class is going to be in 3 parts. The very first part is going to be some test-taking strategy. For those of you who've already taken the MBLEx or taken it more than once, you'll know it takes more than just knowledge to pass this test. So I give you some tools, some understanding of the test, some test-taking strategy so that you can be well prepared on test day. Not just with your knowledge, but with tools in your toolkit to help you tackle this test. Second part of class is our learning. Laws, ethics, boundaries, regulations. And then the third part of class today is dissecting questions. Yeah, some good questions to dissect today. And let's just see. So today I'd like to talk to you. Let's get started with our very first topic, which is the test-taking strategies. And today I'd like to talk to you about a concept called doing meaningful homework. So doing meaningful homework. And I know some of you got stacks of books and notebooks and everything you ever touched while you were in massage school, and you dive right in, and you spend hours just getting organized even, as far as, okay, what am I studying today? It's going to be anatomy. And so I'd like to give you the framework of doing meaningful homework. So meaningful homework focuses you on one subject, and depending on when your test is, will be how many subjects you're going to do in 1 week. If you currently don't have a test date, or it's more than 30 days away, then you can follow the rhythm of our classes here. Each time I send you a Zoom invitation, you see a schedule of what we're covering next. And in fact, I'll put in the chat the order of our classes and then also the order of our videos. So our classes, where's our chat? There is the order that I recommend that you do our classes. Got another person arriving. Hold on just a moment. Thanks for your patience. Just want to make sure everybody's in. All right. So in the chat, and actually when we post this video, I'll list the order of the classes that I recommend. We have 8, and those 8 classes completely correspond with the Federation of State Massage Therapy Boards content outline on what will be on your exam. So there's a suggested order, and that you can take right to your meaningful homework. So 8 classes, 8 weeks. You can focus on one subject a week, depending again on when is your MBLEx. Some graduates will focus on up to 3 or 4 subjects in a week. but they'll be concentrated study sessions. And in the content outline, it tells you the different things that you might be tested on. Those are the things we cover in class in the online learning center. During our live classes, we get through a lot of material, uh, but it's not exhaustive. So for those of you who like to do the extra work, I'll give you that list of exactly what is on the MBLEx, the list of our order of courses, and how you can systematically know your pathway to passing. So organizing your homework, doing meaningful homework. In addition to the classes, there is a quiz. There's a quiz for every class in the online learning center. Please complete the quiz. The quiz is about the material that you just studied. So today we're talking about ethics. The online class is called Ethics, Boundaries, Laws, and Regulations. And then there's a quiz right after you watch the lecture. We do class, you watch a lecture, you do the quiz. The quiz tests you on this material. So it's a nice little nice package of how to really get the stuff we're talking about, really understand the concepts that we're talking about. That is on a topic. In addition to your class, you can do a practice exam. A practice exam is a full 100 question stimulation of the MBLEx. So doing meaningful homework are classes, live classes here. This is considered homework. Also, classes in the online learning center that have a quiz that builds on your knowledge. And then in the same week, a practice exam. So that's really 3 times in a week that you're studying and you're practicing, you're preparing. It's a very systematic approach to how to master each one of these topics and to really understand how to approach the MBLEx. I will close this meaningful homework topic by saying there are 2 ways to take the practice exams. So just decide beforehand, how am I going to take this practice exam? Am I going to simulate the MBLEx? Am I going to go straight through, no looking anything up? I just want to see where I'm at. Straight through, one shot, not fast, but within 2 hours, just like the MBLEx. You're pretending to take the MBLEx. You're simulating your environment and your exercise for the MBLEx. That's one way to take the test, the practice exam, right? The second way to take the practice exam is to just know it's going to take you more than 2 hours and you're going to look up everything. You have no idea what's going on. You're going to take the test. You're going to open another window. You're going to Google things. If you see a word you've never heard of before, you're going to type it. You're going to get the definition. You're going to do your best to understand the question. And then you're going to go through those answers, eliminate up to 2 wrong answers, and pick the best answer. So again, as far as meaningful homework, these are different ways to approach the homework, to approach the practice exam. So doing one practice exam per week and deciding ahead of time, okay, am I going to pretend I'm taking the MBLEx? Going to turn off the phone, going to shut the door, going to just focus? Or am I going to use this as kind of an advanced study session? I'm going to get 100 questions thrown at me, and I'm going to do the best I can to understand the questions, get to the best answer. So that is what I consider meaningful homework. You pick that subject for the week. This week, we're talking about ethics. Next week, we're doing upper body. Oh no, we've already done upper body. We're doing client assessment. Next week, we're doing client assessment. Yeah, that's a toughie. Yeah. So you can plan your study sessions based on the live class. That's easy. Or you can just map out, okay, I know I got low on upper, anatomy, physiology. I got low on pathology. And so maybe you want to study in that way and schedule each week a topic you got low on your score, or you know that, I don't really understand that. Another way to approach it. But by focusing for a week, or if your MBLEx is in 10 days, focusing intense study sessions on those subjects, you can follow that cadence of live classes, online classes, the online learning center, and taking one practice exam per week. Some of you, it's been a couple of weeks since taking a practice exam. And for some of you, I know it's really intimidating. However, give it a shot. It's what we're here for. If you get over 50%, that's awesome. You've gotten over half the questions right. You're not quite ready for the MBLEx, but it's a good start. Honestly, the practice exam is hard and it's intimidating. Suck it up, Buttercup. Let's get it done. Because that is a very important part of your preparation for the MBLEx. It's a part of your meaningful homework. Okay. Are you ready to transition into some learning? All right, that wrapped your head around doing meaningful homework. Good. Now time to talk a little ethics. Oh, I want to show you something before we do ethics. Look, this is Amy. She passed yesterday. I haven't had a chance to put up her announcement. But this is Amy and she passed yesterday. Yay, Amy. Okay. Enough of the shenanigans. So for those of you who have taken the MBLEx, you may be saying, oh my goodness, I do not remember learning all this stuff in massage school. Hey, you know what? You might have been absent that day. It's all right. It's what we're here for. It's what I'm here for. And that is covering all of those bases, making sure that we dust off those brain cells and get you thoroughly prepared. And today, we're going to be talking ethics. Here's the outline of what we'll study today. And part of this outline is taken from a book called The Ethics of Touch by Cherie Stonin Moe. She's wonderful. Shout out to Cherie. And Ben Benjamin, also an awesome instructor. So today we're going to be talking about ethical behavior. We're going to be talking about professional boundaries. We're going to talk about the code of ethics. What do we mean when we talk about the therapeutic relationship? We'll cover some vocabulary terms like dual relationships and others. We'll talk also about laws and regulations that you, as a massage therapist, it is your responsibility to be aware of. We'll define scope of practice versus standard of practice. We'll talk about professional communication. We'll talk about confidentiality. So let's get started. What do we mean when we talk about ethical behavior? Massage therapists are responsible to act in a way that is going to improve the public's confidence and trust in us. If I were to show up to class and I was wearing a clown suit, had my face all painted with makeup, in a clown suit, in a clown face, you'd be like, what's going on here? You wouldn't really take me seriously, right? And well, let's just say that's not what a traditional teacher dresses like, unless you're going to clown school. We get to have a certain amount of self-awareness that our reputation is the reputation of the profession. So as a licensed massage therapist, your reputation is the reputation of our profession. We need to build confidence. What does that look like? Well, here is our code of ethics. You're going to commit to, you're going to promise, that would be a better way to say it, promise to give high quality care, to represent your qualifications honestly, to discuss and inform a client if there's any limitations to what you can do, what your scope of practice is, or any limitations. If someone says, hey, I brought my acupuncture needles. I'm an acupuncturist. I'll show you where to put them. No, you're not licensed acupuncturist. That would be out of the scope of what you're trained to do. Acknowledge their limitations, my limitations. That's not always something we discuss in the health intake sheet, but limitations would be, hey, I feel like I've worked this area enough. If I work it anymore, it's going to be overly sore. And that is leading right into number 5, which is providing treatment that is beneficial to the client. Our code of ethics also says that you're going to promise to maintain and increase and improve your professional knowledge through continuing education. Most states require 24 credits of continuing education every 2 years, 2 credits of which, at least 2 credits, are in ethics. Also in our code of ethics, it says we're going to conduct our business with honesty and integrity. What does that look like? Well, that means that if you charge your female clients $60 for a massage, but your male clients get charged $100, that's out of integrity. That's out of honesty. So we're going to talk a little bit more about discrimination, but no discrimination with massage. We're going to maintain our confidentiality, and it'll show how that's done in real life. Confidentiality means not only your paper records, but also if you are to see someone outside of the office, outside of your treatment room, you run into a client in public, part of our responsibility is not to acknowledge that person, to smile, nod. If they come to you and say, hey, how are you? Awesome. We maintain confidentiality because not every client shares with their family and friends that they get massage. Finally, we also, part of our code of ethics says that we will obtain and keep a record of informed consent. What is informed consent? Informed consent is I inform you, you consent to the treatment. So I inform you, hey, Latrice, I think your glutes are going to need some work. I just worked on your hamstrings. They're pretty tight. I think your glutes are going to need some work. And I just touch the hip area to indicate where glutes are. I am informing you verbally and with a soft palpation, soft fist, that I would like to work in this area. Is that okay with you? So I am informing the client and they are consenting. Oh yeah, go ahead. Absolutely. I think you're probably right. Good. This informed consent goes for any area that could be sensitive. The below the clavicle, the abdomen, the glutes. We will need informed consent. Finally, the code of ethics goes on for a while. We respect the client's right to say no, to modify, to terminate the session. So I ask Ms. V, Ms. V, I'd like to do some abdominal work with you. And Ms. V says, not today. Okay. We respect that client's feedback. We respect their right to say no. Hey, I've had enough work there. Also to terminate the session, to say, hey, I'm done. If the client is done or you're done, we'll get to that part in a minute. The next, number 12, says you will provide draping. And every now and then we get a client who says, oh, Deborah, I don't need draping. I don't need draping. Well, you may not need draping, but I need draping. Own it. I don't know if in your state there is a law that says you have to have a draped client. Probably there is, but you own it. Say, no, I'm more comfortable when you are draped. And secure that drape. You know that I am. It's one of my pet peeves is loose draping. How are you supposed to relax? Make sure that draping is secure. Practice, practice, practice. All right. Number 13, you have the right to refuse treatment if you feel like there's some reason that this massage is going to put you or the client in harm. An example of that would be if the client arrives and they're under the influence of drugs or alcohol. You have the right to say, not today. Number 14, no sexual contact. You don't initiate. They don't initiate. You don't engage. If you become wildly attracted to your client, the code of ethics says you need to stop seeing them as a client. And you're supposed to, if you get this question on the MBLEx, probably not, but you're supposed to have stopped seeing them for 6 months. So if you've never met this person before, you meet them as a client, you're wildly attracted, this is Mr. or Miss Right. Technically, you're supposed to not see them for a client for 6 months. But, and that's for the MBLEx. In your own practice, as a minimum, you do need to stop seeing them as a client if you see them socially. And finally, avoid any activity that might be in conflict to the best interest of the client. Don't be talking on your phone during a massage. Don't be text messaging, right? This is part of our code of ethics. This is a higher standard, right? A higher standard to which we hold ourselves to. Oh, we had a few more. Sorry. Respect the client's boundaries with regard to privacy. Again, this is draping, confidentiality. Don't be asking personalized questions that have nothing to do with the session. And chill out if you get a celebrity. Chill out if you get a professional athlete. Respect their privacy. Also, the Code of Ethics says no gifts. In our personal practice, it might be your birthday, it might be Christmas, and your client brings you a jar of jam. Technically, we're not supposed to take any gift. It's about clear boundaries. If my client starts bringing me gifts, oh, I know you work so hard, I brought you lunch. Thank you. But what does the client expect in return? Do they expect to be paid for the lunch? Do they expect a longer treatment? Clear boundaries. I have accepted gifts from clients. I am simply explaining the code of ethics and what the best answer would be on your MBLEx. Okay? And follow this code of ethics. We're going to cover the standards of practice today too. and that's been initiated and publicized by the National Certification Board. You'll see here, National Certification Board for Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork, the NCBTMB. All right, let's talk about stereotyping. No stereotyping at all. Have you ever been stereotyped? I asked that question one time in a class, and a petite massage therapist said, Jodi, I'm stereotyped every day I'm at work. My clients look me up and down, roll their eyes, and be like, oh, well, they don't think I can do deep work. They don't think that I'm strong. So stereotyping goes both ways, and we need to be prepared. First, self-aware. When you see a client walk in, and maybe they got their pants down, their belt down below their butt. It's a thing. The kids are doing it. We need to stay neutral. Neutral. Let me give you a few more examples. Say this client walked into your office. She's wearing fur. Do you have a feeling about fur? Do you have a feeling about big old boots? What can you tell me about this person? I just want you to think about it in your mind for right now. You know what you can tell me about this person? Not a damn thing. Good on you if that's where you got to. We don't know a thing about this person. We can judge her. We can have an opinion. And just so you know, this is Zoe Kravitz, the daughter of Lenny Kravitz. She's at the airport and she's wearing a faux fur, which means it's a fake fur. Kind of a cool look, actually, right? What can you tell me about this dude? He's tatted up, got dreads. It's not tying his sneakers. Is he going to be a rough guy? We don't know a damn thing about this guy until we do a health intake. You're not psychic. Well, maybe you are, but not all the time. We don't know anything about this guy until we have a conversation. This guy happens to be DeAndre Hopkins. He's a professional football player. He's from the Arizona Cardinals. The point is, in stereotyping, we are responsible to not judge a book by its cover. We also need to be responsible to stay neutral if someone is judging us. If someone is judging us by our size, if we're big or we're small, just let them have their opinion. If it's the color of my skin, the color of my hair, the language that I'm using, the clothes that I have on, my clients might judge me. It's my job to be kind. When you are doing massage therapy, ladies and gentlemen, it is your job to be compassionate. Yeah. So part of the way we are kind and compassionate is we don't stereotype, we don't judge others, and we don't take it personally when they judge us. Ethical behavior. Next, boundaries. All right. Boundaries, roles and boundaries. It's really important to keep clear boundaries. The definition of boundaries is like if we were in two countries. This is where the United States is, and across this line is where Canada is. We talk about, building a wall. It's a boundary. It's something clear. Okay, here you are in France, and here you are in Portugal. It's very clear. The importance of clear boundaries shows up all over the internet, unfortunately. Therapists who have chosen, who've made bad choices, who've made choices that did not serve them, that either sexualized the massage, they violated their clients' boundaries. They get arrested, they get charges pressed against them, they get thrown in, they don't get thrown in jail, but they get fined, they lose their license. Sometimes I guess they get thrown in jail. I'm talking about boundaries, though, now as a mental health term. And that is, boundaries define the limit that someone establishes to feel safe, to feel secure, so that I maintain my well-being. Boundaries are basically the rules or the limits that we establish to feel safe. Every now and then, something challenges our boundaries, and one of those things is dual relationships. Dual, two, duo, dual relationships. This is when, and you probably learned this in massage school, so I hope you're nodding your head like, oh yeah, I've heard of that before. Yeah. This relationship is when you already know the person before they come in for a massage. For example, maybe they're a family member. Maybe they work at the gym. So you already have a relationship with them outside being a massage therapist. You know them from. So the other way that looks is if I'm going to skip that other definition for right now and stick with the true definition of dual relationships. Any relationship outside the therapeutic relationship. So you knew them before, or you walk into the gym and, oh my goodness, your client is in your Zumba class. Maintain confidentiality, but all of a sudden now you have a dual relationship. So typically the true definition of dual relationship is you knew them before. But every now and then, accidentally, that new relationship is kind of thrust upon you. Another term that is sometimes used with dual relationship or in place of is multidimensional. Just means you have a lot of other relationships with them. So my new client isn't really new. She's my mom's friend. She attends book club with my sister-in-law. She knows my brother through the dog walking business. We also belong to the same gym. That's how clients become clients sometimes. They just know you in all these other places, and then they learn you're a massage therapist, and they're like, oh, reach out to me. All right. Ready to dissect some questions? Woo-hoo! All right. Rub your hands together. This is what you do when you're getting ready. Create some warmth. Move some energy around. We used to do in massage school, we used to rub our hands together, and then we would just clear. These are great rituals. Rituals are lovely to help transition. Let's get to it. This also is like if there's a good meal on the table. We're ready. Going to happy hour with a client would be considered a blank. A boundary crossing. B, only okay if you knew them before. C, a boundary violation. D, transference. Going to happy hour with a client would be considered A, B, C, or D. Can you get rid of one wrong answer? If you're not 100% sure of the answer, start with getting rid of a wrong answer. It's a tool. It's a tool for your test. So what do you know we can eliminate? We know we can eliminate, it's not transference, right? Let's take a look in our chat. All right, Jennifer's answering. Oh, we got answers all over the map here. Then we've had A, B, and C. Oh my goodness, A, B, and C. Think about it, guys and gals. We're talking the MBLEx here. We got to be strict. Got to be strict. Best answer? Technically, it's a boundary violation. All of those other answers are right. Wait a minute. Why is it a violation? We're talking the MBLEx, right? You've got to be strict. You got to be like, follow the rules to the letter of the law. What you would do in your own practice, hey, it might be okay if you knew them before, especially if you've been to other happy hours with them before. Might be okay, but it might not. I'll tell you, it does compromise the therapeutic relationship. I've had friends who we socialize together, become clients. They say, Jodi, wow, you're so like serious when you do massage. Yup. That serious is being a professional. All right, next question. Oh boy, a long one. A female client says you remind them of their dearly departed aunt, and their aunt was a mother figure to the aunt was a mother figure to her. You can tell the client is getting a little bit emotional talking about the aunt. And the client mentions, oh, they always went to the theater together. She asks you if you go to the theater. What is this an example of? A boundary crossing. B, a boundary violation. C, counter-transference. D, transference. Yes, Jan, could be harmful. Oh, you guys got this one. You got this one. All right. Catherine nailed it. Jessica, you got it. Latrice, yep. Yolanda, yes. Patia, yes. Good. Miss V, yes. Mati, yes. Good. Look at you using the chat. Okay. Aite, yes. Good Zoom user. You got it. It's not a boundary violation because you haven't done anything, right? So we eliminate that as an answer. However, what's happening? Transference. Yep. Transference. She's about to ask you to go to the theater. Yeah. So careful. We're talking the MBLEx here, though. So, of course, you would never go to the theater with her. I like that type of question for our clients. Is this too much pressure? Or would you like more pressure, less pressure, or is this about right? Check in, adjust the pressure. You don't have to be turning yourself inside out to work with a big guy. In fact, before I wrap up the recording, Amy's in the house. Amy's in the house. Amy, I just saw that you're in the house. Did you see me show your picture? I showed your picture. Do you want to say hello?
Maybe.
Congratulations. There
Thank
she
you.
is.
Sorry, I'm at work, so it took me a minute.
Hey, congratulations, girl.
Thank you.
What
So
state
what do
are
you
you
want to
in?
know? What's that? What state? Colorado.
Colorado just got a new massage therapist. Whoop, whoop,
Yes, I had
whoop.
to take the test in Utah, but
Well, that's okay. Go practice in Colorado. That's cool. That's cool. Well, congratulations. You're like just yesterday, honey. How you're feeling?
I don't know. I haven't decided. I've been busy. I've had a lot to do since then.
Well,
Um, I don't know. Now I just have to get stuff ready for the Colorado license.
yep,
I had a job
exactly.
interview last week, which I'm pretty sure I got because I have connections. So
Really?
yeah, I just had to pass the test.
High five. Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard would you say the test was?
Um, I don't know. I felt like I didn't know anything, but apparently I did. So
That happens with almost everybody I talk to after the test. They're like, those questions, they were just crazy.
yeah, I have no idea, but I knew I'd be okay.
Yeah. Congratulations, my dear. Nice work.
Thank you.
Double thumbs up. All right, now I'll wrap up the recording. So,